Show me the crypto. Show me the crypto. Show me the crypto.
In a world on the brink of disruption, two men will bring you clarity by interviewing some of the most intelligent and influential names in the blockchain world. Welcome to Show Me the Crypto with your hosts, Wade Patterson and Ulf Lonergan.
Well, hi there, and welcome to this special year-end episode of Show Me the Crypto. My name is Wade Patterson.
And I'm Ulf Lonergan.
We're a couple of friends from Canada who love learning about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. And usually, this is the part of the episode where we would introduce one of our amazing guests. But this episode, because it's a year-end special, is a little bit different. It's going to be quite a bit shorter than our normal episodes. We wanted to do something fun. At the end of every one of our interviews, we always ask our guest, what will the price of Bitcoin be 10 years from now? So we went through, we did the research, we looked at every single interview we did from 2021 and all of those predictions of what the price is going to be in 2031. There were about 50 of those interviews. Ulf, any guesses what the most popular Bitcoin price prediction for 2031 was?
You know, at the end of every episode when we asked that question, every time we heard $1 million, it was like, yeah, that's the common answer. So if I was guessing, 1 million.
Yeah, 100% you're right. We've joked about that before of how so many guests say that $1 million number. It's just like baked in. So many people have that firm belief 10 years from now, Bitcoin will be worth $1 million. That was by far the most popular answer.
All right, so of the top three highest guesses, that $1 million answer, that's what ultimately came in. Those group of people were the third top highest guess for where Bitcoin might be. And some of those came from the likes of Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, Cooper Turley, Tom Bilyeu, and of course, many others.
So let's take a look at all of those clips.
What will the price of Bitcoin be 10 years from now?
The price of Bitcoin 10 years from now, assuming it survives all of the attacks that will inevitably come, I think it could easily be one Bitcoin. It could easily be $1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million, at least.
Probably $1 million.
Yeah, in the millions.
I think Bitcoin is on its way to becoming like a mainstay within traditional finance now as well, where a lot of people are buying in, a lot of big money's buying in. So 10 years from now, if you subscribe to the 4-year market cycle of crypto, that every 4 years we get like a new bubble cycle playing out, then, you know, if we extrapolate that and take into account diminishing returns, you could say that one Bitcoin could be worth $1 million in 10 years.
Oh, I hate making price predictions. I don't know.
Well, luckily we're giving you a 10-year horizon. So, I mean, like, you can be right or wrong. It's not
Camilla, we're going to come find you in July 2031 and be like, you said this.
Bitcoin is not $1 million. I don't know. Let's go with 1 million.
Do you want to know what I secretly say to myself? Even though I am not good at predicting price. I want to be very clear. So this is
we're talking a decade out.
This is just for fun.
This is only meant to indicate how psychotic I am about it. I think in 10 years, it's at $1 million.
10 years from now, of Bitcoin. Well, I do think that I love Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, don't want to sell any of my Bitcoin. But that's because I believe that Bitcoin will likely always be the reserve currency of the crypto space. Not because it will have other utility that will help stabilize its price, and not because because it has crypto economic properties that will stabilize its price eventually, which is to say that because of its token economic design and because of its lack of additional utility, it's condemned to remain a speculative asset forever, which is to say that the price will always remain volatile. And so in exactly 10 years from now, I think it's absolutely impossible to predict what price it'll be. But that being said, if you give me a couple of years range around 10 years, I do think that Bitcoin will probably be ranging orders of magnitude higher. Yeah, it might be in the million dollar a token range 10 years from now.
I think Bitcoin, whether it's in 10 years or longer, I think Bitcoin goes to 1 million. That's like a magical number everyone seems to fixate on.
I think you've given me like a far enough horizon that I can safely say it'll be like a million or more. But I should say that when Bitcoin reaches $1 million, it's not going to be all because of Bitcoin's appreciation. A large part of it will be the depreciation of the dollar.
10 years. That's a long time. Let's say I think $1 million is certainly in reach.
Oh my gosh. In 10 years. Let's say $1 million.
I would say 10 years from now, I would say $1 million.
Ooh. Price of Bitcoin 10 years from now. I mean, I would just say $1 million.
That's a good question. 10 years is a long time. I think I could see Bitcoin hitting $500,000 to $1 million. It all depends on what happens to the US dollar, right? So if it's priced in US dollar and the Fed keeps printing money like crazy, like what they did the past year, it's inevitable that the value of dollar would go away, and then the Bitcoin price in dollar would be very large.
Oh my God. Definitely over $1 million.
Yeah. It's 1 million is the most popular answer, but over $1 million, that's good.
I think $1 million in 4 years. I bet by the next cycle, by 2024.
Well, we got a 10-year timeline here, so I mean, maybe you need to expand your horizons.
Don't hold me to this. Someone's going to find this in 10 years and be like, you said.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to find everyone that comes
exactly.
10 years.
Exposed, yeah.
All right, now that we're past the most popular answer of $1 million Bitcoin in 2031, it's time to get to some of the more aggressive predictions. Coming in at the number 2 spot, there wasn't 18 people, there was just one. Her name is Natalie Brunel, and she more than doubled the answer of the previous 18 people. Let's take a look at what Natalie had to say.
What will the price of Bitcoin be 10 years from now?
10 years from now? Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm going to go with 2.5 million.
I like it.
There we go.
That is
that's aggressive for the
compared
guess.
to what other guesses said.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I hope you're right.
I've always been waiting. Like, come on, guys, you got to go higher.
Everyone says 1 million.
Everyone says 1 million.
Yeah.
I like this 2.5. I like where your head's at.
Nope, it's going to be more. Now, here's the thing. I don't necessarily know how much the dollar is going to be worth. So
yeah, fair point.
2.5 might actually be similar to $1 million, but yeah, I'm going to go for the moon. And if you look at how much it's appreciated every single year, and if you multiply it, I think, 2.5.
Time for the number one most aggressive price predictions for what Bitcoin's price will be in 2031. And the honors actually go out to 3 of our guests, not just one. We have David Hoffman from Bankless, Sean Gardner of ModaDAO, and John from Shapeshift, who all had much more aggressive price predictions. So let's cue those up. What will the price of Bitcoin be 10 years from now?
10 years from now, that's so long away. I can say any number right now.
Yes, you can.
No one will hold me accountable. Exactly. So that's a really hard question to ask because where you're asking what's the price of Bitcoin in relationship to dollars. So baked in that question is what is a dollar worth? It's a dollar worth, and I don't know what the dollar is going to be worth 10 years from now. We out of the Bankless newsletter, we recently put out a piece in 2021 predictions where we predicted that the Coinbase IPO was going to IPO at above $100 billion. Speculation and initially was at 50 billion, and both Ryan and I thought that was way too low. And we think they're going to IPO at the end of 2021. And part of the question of like how much is Coinbase going to be worth when they IPO towards the end of 2021 is even at the end of 2021, I don't know what the dollar's worth. Like we're printing a bunch of dollars. Like 26% of the supply of US dollars came in the last 12 months. I don't know what the dollar is going to be worth like in the end of this year. I definitely don't know what it's going to be worth in the end of 10 years. However, if you wanted to pin me down, I'll say $10 million. Here's another tirade. This industry moves in exponentials. It doesn't move in linear fashion. And people's brains, human brains, can't really comprehend that very well. People's brains like linear things, 7% in the SPY per year. Like that's not crypto. Crypto is like, 2 to 3 years of flat. And then there's 1 year of like 10,000%. Right. Like you got to think in order to survive in this industry, you have to think in exponentials.
I think 10 years from now, it would not surprise me if Bitcoin was like well over $10 million a coin. Wow. It needs to get to that kind of level for it to grow anywhere near it. And this is kind of on the thesis of like, if it got to the level where gold is, it would be in the range of 500 to 1,000. I mean, 500 to a million, 500,000 to $1 million approximately, just to get to near gold's market cap. But I think Bitcoin is at least 10x, if not 100x better than gold as a store of value and as a technology. So that's kind of where I would get something like 10 million, but it's either going to be something like 10 million or the whole experiment will have failed and it'll have collapsed to near zero. But it's pretty binary in my mind.
I mean, you won't be able to measure it in US dollars. I'd say somewhere around the 10 million mark, but it'll also be like, it'll also be over $1,000 for a sandwich. So yeah, take that with a pinch of salt.
Well, there you have it. The most aggressive Bitcoin price predictions for the year 2031. I certainly hope those are the predictions that end up coming true. Life will be pretty good. So. Yeah, for a lot of our audience, if that's the case. It's going to be fun to look back in 10 years from now and see how close or how far off some of those predictions ended up being. But Ulf and I just want to say thank you so much to all of you. This year, 2021, it was our first full year of doing this show, and we had so much fun. We had amazing conversations, learned a ton, and we do this because of all of you. The fact that some of you have learned something about the crypto space, we love reading those comments, and thank you. Thank you so much. We encourage you to let others know if there's somebody who you've been trying to tell about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and teach them, and you're looking for the way to do that, send them one of our episodes on a specific topic. We've had a lot of amazing guests explain things much better than we could do so, but just genuinely from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for consuming our content.
Honestly, thanks so much. It really does mean the world, and we'll see you guys in 2022.
Thank you for listening to Show Me the Crypto. Please make sure to subscribe as well as rate and review this podcast.